Nobody really bats 1,000 with their takes. Sometimes I'm going to have takes that I have that are completely incorrect. I think that I'm pretty consistent with the way I analyze things, but, I'm going to make a short in about a half hour where I'm going to talk about a take that I had that was a pretty bad one related to the four nations. But one of the takes that I had recently, and you can go back, press into my YouTube channel and go back to my oldest videos when I was talking about Nick Robertson. When he had that unbelievable preseason, I was like, guys, it's preseason. Trade him. Trade him now. Okay? You would have had way higher trade value. Sometimes you're going to make mistakes, sometimes you aren't. That was an excellent take by me because it turned out to be true. Sam McKee, he has the Leaf podcast on Sportsnet with JD Bunkus. He said the same thing and he was bang on. I'm sorry, I don't know about you, but I have seen more than enough of Nick Robertson, and maybe he plays for another team. Maybe he plays for another team and he turns into this just unbelievable player. I just don't see it. The guy falls down like 23 times a game. He can't even stay on his skates. He's an infuriating hockey player to watch. So that was my take. Now, we have more insider information that this is the one player that has clearly been trying to get moved. We haven't actually talked about Nick Robertson that much, but this player, in my opinion, is absolutely going to get moved. So, do you think that he's actually going to be on the Leafs playoff roster? I don't. Not even close. So now we have more insider information from James Myrtle saying that the Maple Leafs are not going to get a lot for Nick Robertson. It seems to me that they are clearly trying to move him, because James Myrtle is pretty linked around in the league. And again, he must have some insider information saying that they are not going to get a lot for him. And this is honestly really, really, really sad. When we first got Nick Robertson in the second round, I was jacked. I thought that he was going to be like our, DeBrincat. DeBrincat played for Chicago. He is an excellent, excellent, excellent player, second round pick, but it has not worked out. He is just not that good. So James Myrtle, that is, went on to explain that they are more than likely going to get a late round draft pick for Nicholas Robertson. I'm sorry, that's incredibly disappointing. I'm telling you right now, if they traded him right at preseason, the Leafs more than likely would have been able to get, I think, even a second round pick. That's what I genuinely think. Because remember, when you're a Leaf fan, you understand that the media hype in Toronto is big. So even if a guy has a serious preseason, you can use that as advantage to say, hey, look at all the spotlights. Look at all the spotlights that's on this player. They're moving this, young star player. Now, the real question for this video is going to be something along the lines of, first off, would you actually even trade him? This is going to be controversial. For my opinion, I would trade him. I do not see this guy as a player that is going to be in our playoff roster at all. I can't imagine how anybody could see that. I mean, he's just not going to be... Can you really see him playing on a playoff roster getting knocked down all the time? Yeah, right. So in my opinion, I would probably just take a fourth round selection for Nick Robertson, like James Myrtle is saying in this article. Which is, again, objectively, to me, it's infuriating to me. I just don't understand why the Leafs couldn't make a better decision, even if they could move him possibly for a younger center. They need more center depth in the organization. Maybe that wouldn't have happened. But remember, Nick Robertson, he actually requested a trade, and... I mean, the Leafs didn't want to do it, but, his time is clearly done in Toronto. So we are fastly approaching the trade deadline. By the way, another thing, I'm shocked that there's been no trades that have happened during the Four Nations. I can't believe that. Even all the insiders, including Elliot Friedman, were saying to watch out for that, but unfortunately that did not happen. Let's put it this way. What the Four Nations face-off has taught me as a hockey fan and watching playoff hockey is that there's certain games that are played that players like Nick Robertson are just not suited for. Okay? Playoff games are tight checking high intensity. You cannot offer this guy a playoff roster. Now, I know that people are going to say, well, you need some scoring, and well, he can give you some depth scoring. I guess that's kind of true. I just can't stand having players like this in the playoffs. No matter which way you look at it, a lot of teams that end up making it far in the playoffs are players that tend to be like big and rangy players. Big, rangy defensemen. Those players tend to do very, very well because they take up a lot of the ice. Do you really think that Nick Robertson is going to match up well going to the net and battling with those players? Give me a break. Even Mitch Marner, as a relatively smaller player, can get to the inside. He knows how to get his size aside and still win puck battles. I don't know about you, but I thought in the Four Nations face-off, Mitch Marner was fantastic in that final game. He really made an impact, and he was able to make an impact down low even though his size is not that big. Like, he's around the same size as Nick Robertson, right? Nick Robertson, his edges are just never very good. Like, he's never able to just stay on his feet. He's never able to, like, position himself at the boards that makes it more difficult for a bigger player to win a battle against him. He's very easily double teamed and taken the puck. He just is not that good at battling against the wall, too. Anyway, I don't want to analyze Nick Robertson too much, but again, you just have to move this guy. Just get him off the roster. So the Maple Leafs need to start detailing their roster for exactly what they want to be. Also, I want the Maple Leafs to get a centerman as well. I mean, I can't imagine they want to go in with this center position into the NHL playoffs. Because what has taught me anything is this upper echelon type of hockey, you cannot win with a thin center position or a thin blue line. So hopefully they can fix both of those things. Anyways, I am going to leave this video here. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate that. And make sure to have a great day, guys. Goodbye.